Jimbo Fisher, I agree. But I think it's going to be something that's going to continue to swirl around, and it's going to be something that is his name's going to be continuously floated out there until the end of the season, until LSU makes a hire. We will definitely get to the two commits that obviously happened before the game. A&M landing the top defensive lineman in the country, Walter Nolan, and Chris Marshall as well within a 30-minute time span. We'll get to what that means for sure for A&M. Just a huge job and an incredible job, basically to go with Walter Nolan from getting him on campus in the summer and him really not knowing what to expect to now just a few months later landing a commitment after. Again, I think the way this defense has played the past few weeks, when he came for the Alabama game, when he came for South Carolina, it's a little bit the same as when you look at Barry Alexander going to Georgia. When you put up good performances in front of these recruits and you play well in front of them, and you can give them a taste of what things will look like for them if they were to be there. This is kind of the result is you get guys that jump on board, and boy, it's a huge one for A&M to add him, and that's going to just the sheer number of defensive line guys that A&M is on. They're going to put together a really, really, really strong group. Getting back to the game, and we'll touch more on the recruiting side of things a little bit later on this. Again, taking any questions that you have or comments about the game, let me know what you thought. But I think we've also got to talk about Zach Calzada, and the stat line's not going to jump out at you, and I'll get to that point in a moment as well. But 15 to 29 for 192 yards. No interceptions and no touchdowns for him. Look, I think the thing with Zach Calzada in this game was he didn't make the big mistake. In a game that was 3-3, he kept A&M in the game. He stayed patient. Didn't force a whole lot. And then, if you want to talk about toughness, for the second time, really second big win that A&M has had at Kyle Field. That it's looked like he's gone down with a serious injury, and he comes right back in after Jimbo Fisher said after the game, and his shoulder sort of popped out a little bit. Comes back in, I'm sure it was tremendously painful, and comes back in and plays a solid fourth quarter and leads A&M to another huge win. When you talk about toughness, I think he's earned a lot of respect and admiration from A&M fans for the way he's just been able to battle through everything. And again, today, I don't think it'll go down as one of his best performances, but he stayed patient. He stayed with it. And, when you look at him and what he's done now, he's continuing to progress. And that's a sign of growth. I mean, give credit to the Auburn defense as well. This defense came in as the third-ranked defense in the SEC, allowing just 19 points per game. This was definitely going to be a game. This was not going to be a high-scoring game. This was going to be a game played in the high teens. Whoever could get to the high teens or 20s was who was going to win this game. And he kept A&M long enough for you get a couple field goals. That obviously you would like to be better in the red zone, but stayed in long enough for the A&M defense to make a big play and blow the game open. And that's just playing complementary football. That's relying on not putting them in bad situations, playing the field position game in a game like this, and collects another big win. And that's now 2 top 15 wins that he's added as since he took over, and he's only obviously in his first year starting. That's pretty darn good. So, he stayed with it. I think he's got to learn to slide. He's got to realize that he's the guy right now. I mean, Haynes King is not back yet. He looked like he was still in the boot in this one. So he's got to be smart in that situation to slide, to get down. But just a huge credit to him, and to avoid turning the ball over and protect the ball in a game like this and trust your defense to make the plays was tremendous. And A&M did exactly. There's a formula that's emerged now, and it's worked throughout this winning streak, and that's to trust the running game. Isaiah Spiller with 21 carries for 112 yards. Devon Achane with 10 carries for 98 yards. Did break off a big run and had it punched out, leading to a fumble, but they stayed with the running game and controlled the game on that end. Caleb Chapman also had a big afternoon with 3 catches for 77 yards. A&M, this could have been a game where A&M could have blown it a little bit more open in the passing game. Drops kind of hurt them a little bit. Got to be better on that front, but for the most part, I mean, offensively, A&M stuck to what's worked for them, and it's a formula that I think they can take up to Ole Miss next weekend. And Ole Miss has given up quite a bit more points. They're running close to 29 points per game. So I don't think it's going to be the same sort of challenge that A&M dealt with this afternoon, especially from a defensive standpoint. There's going to be other challenges. This is going to be a challenging road environment. But with the way A&M is playing, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be able to go up there and get a win. They've found their formula now. They know kind of what works for them, and this team has started to build an identity. And Ole Miss is a little bit banged up. We'll see what they look like. And they got a win today over Liberty, which is a good win. Old Liberty was going to be a challenging game, and certainly no cakewalk. So a good win for Ole Miss. But A&M kind of has their formula now of what works for them and know what they need to do.